Hey everyone, my name is Mark. I participated in this program called Katimavik in 2010. And basically what this is a 6-month-long volunteer program that takes youth across Canada aged 17 to 21 and brings them together into groups. What we do and who we are is basically a mini Canada that travels to 2 different cities to work together and develop essential skills. The Canadian government released a statement in their 2012 budget saying that they're going to cut the Katimavik program. They say that they're going to continue to invest in other programs that benefit more and more youth at a lower cost, and that these programs, like Katimavik, will also teach young Canadians about their country. And they seem to be saying 2 things through this. 1, that Katimavik isn't worth the amount of money they're spending, and 2, that it's only about teaching youth about Canada. Now, of course it's worth the amount of money because it's about so much more than teaching youth about Canada. It's about young Canadians who don't know what they want to do with their lives, taking the time to figure out who they are. What upset me in the statement in the government budget was that they don't seem to understand how important Katimavik is and the potential it has to change people's lives. I remember when I was in high school not really knowing who I was or what I wanted to do with my life, and looking for something that would challenge me, looking for something I could throw myself in that was scary and intimidating and force myself to adapt. But I didn't really know what that was. But I was thrilled when I found Katimavik. I was thrilled because it would give me an opportunity for 6 months, to meet people, to immerse myself in a different culture and gain work experience. I remember the first week of the program and my brain hurting from trying to connect with other Francophones in the group, trying to communicate with the little French I knew. I never liked French in high school, and I was actually not looking forward to learning it in Katimavik. But all of a sudden, when this French guy is standing in front of me and I'm sort of forced to try and connect with him and speak to him in French, he was real and French became real. And in that moment, I was passionate about learning French. And learning it became one of the most important parts of Katimavik to me. And it's the reason why I want to learn French now and hopefully be able to phone these volunteers and speak to them fluently in French, the same people that I tried desperately to communicate with at the beginning of the program. I mean, what happened to trying to unify our country? What happened to the government wanting its youth to learn French? They force us to learn French up to grade 9. Why not fund a program that makes it interesting? Why not fund a program that makes a guy, me, who dropped French in grade 9, now, after grade 12, I love it. I remember meeting the First Nations member of our group. His name was Matt. Hey Matt. And him telling me stories of him and his father hunting caribou and having to follow the wolves because they knew what they were doing. And him telling me stories of his initiation into manhood and how he was dropped off in the middle of nowhere and had to survive off the land. And up until that point, these are the kinds of things that I'd only heard through stories. And now all of a sudden, here is this guy, my age, telling me these things here in front of me, real. He was a Canadian and I was a Canadian and we were Canadian. I remember the night before leaving for Katimavik and being terrified that I was about to leave my family for 6 months and do something so outside my comfort zone. But I did it anyways. And that night is the moment I go to when I want to remember what I was able to accomplish. Whenever I want to do something in my life that I feel is important, I feel like is necessary to do, and I'm scared to do it, I go back to that moment of fear and I remember myself doing it anyways. And if I can do that, I can do this. The government seems to think that Katimavik isn't worth the financial burden, that the once-in-a-lifetime opportunities these youth have to meet new people, experience new cultures, and gain new work experience isn't worth it. Okay, fine. So I want to look at what these volunteers contribute to Canada then. Based on Katimovik's 2011 financial statements, over 570,000 hours of volunteer time was recorded, valued at upwards of $10 million. The Canadian Heritage Foundation, which is a government-run organization that funds Katimavik, released an evaluation of the program in 2010 that revealed that some of the work partners Katimavik works with would have had to hire full or part-time employees, and some may have even gone under if it wasn't for Katimavik. The government needs to understand that Katimavik is contributing to the Canadian economy. Alright, so what can we do? For starters, you guys can go to katimavik.org. There's a link to an advocacy kit they've put together. They have a whole bunch of things they have on there, from how to write a letter to your MP, to Facebook groups, to petitions you guys can sign online. There's a link to a fact sheet. This is really great if you guys want specific numbers for how Katimavik contributes to the Canadian economy, sort of the number of people that participate in the program, that sort of thing. Go to shareyourexperience.ca if you guys have been part of the program, and share your testimony. I've met a lot of people who feel like we don't, as a nation, really have an identity. That Canada is just part of the States, and there's no real Canadian understanding. And I thought that too, and I wish I could invite you guys to just walk into our house and come sit with us, and sit with all these people from across Canada, and understand that there is something there. There's an identity, there's a sense of diversity. I can't even explain it. It's just sit with us and be with the country, this little group that Katimavik has made possible. Be with us. The government doesn't understand how important Katimavik is to youth or to Canada as a whole. And I wish they would just look into the program, because if they understood what the program is about, they'd fund it. I know they would. And I remember when I found the program, I was so excited that our government cared enough about youth to fund something like this, that they cared enough about me to fund something like this. And all I'm asking is for the government to care again.